Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm going to start with a scripture in the book of Proverbs. And before I read it, I want to say that some of these scriptures I will read in this video are mainly addressed to men, but it does and can apply to women as well. And this video is more so for women than anything. And after I read this first scripture, I'm going to talk about the subject of this video and go from there. Proverbs 17:21-28 says, "Whoever restrains his words has knowledge, and he who has a cool spirit is a man of understanding. Even a fool who keeps silent is considered wise. When he closes his lips, he is deemed intelligent." Now again, this is more so toward women, and women can take this advice as well. In fact, let's just be honest, women could heed to this advice more, because sometimes us women are a lot worse when it comes to gossip and talking nonsense due to our hurt feelings than men. But the subject I want to talk about today, going along with that, is the subject of women posting videos of themselves crying, or I should say fake crying, about their relationship issues. Rather, they're crying about them getting a divorce or crying about something that's honestly not something they need to be crying about, but they're fake crying about it anyway and acting petty because they're mad at their man for some reason, and they just want a bunch of strangers all over the internet to affirm her and say that her feelings are correct so she could have evidence to show him that she's in the right and he's in the wrong, or what have you. First and foremost, people need to stop believing everything they see on the internet, because a lot of people tend to lie or exaggerate what actually happened. Some of those women that are crying on the internet probably have never even had a husband, or were probably not even in a relationship. But they're crying, saying that they're sad about their divorce, or they're sad about the boyfriend not peeling an orange, or whatever, just to get attention, or to, get a lot of views so they can make money. Or just, I don't know, doing it for other petty reasons. So first and foremost, don't believe everything you see, and don't believe every woman. There are some women that are telling the truth that are being legitimate, but even those that are telling the truth and be legitimate, if they're crying and whining over illegitimate reasons that are not really significant at all, we still shouldn't listen to them, because we don't want to listen to women that act petty either. Because, for one example, going back to peeling the orange thing, your man not peeling your orange doesn't show that he doesn't love you or care about you. He knows you're a big girl and you can handle it yourself, especially if you're one of those big bad boss babes that loves to say that she could do anything and everything without a man. So honestly, he's just, being respectful towards you by letting you be the independent woman that you claim to be. But you're getting mad at him for not peeling the orange for you. But hold on, I thought you didn't need him to do that for you, because you're a strong woman and you don't need a man to peel an orange for you. And honestly, even if you were not one of those women who think that way, you're still capable of peeling that orange yourself. He doesn't have to do everything for you. You can peel your orange, honey. I mean, I can understand if you were sick or something, or maybe you're just tired and you've done a whole lot of other things and you just want to help ask him to do this one little simple thing and you're not posting about it, then yeah, sure. He can help you out. And well, vice versa. If he asks you to do something small to help him out because he's stressed and working a lot or sick, and you could do that for him. Don't have double standards. Don't expect him to do that for you, but you not turn around and do it for him. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that. I'll probably save that for another video. What I'm saying is, a lot of women post videos talking about relationship problems purely for selfish reasons. It's hardly ever for anything good at all. I can understand if a woman makes a video, talking about, and assuming that she's even telling the truth. She's making a video talking about that her husband cheated on her or if her boyfriend beat it on her. And she's just making a video for educational purposes, telling women what red flags to look out for, how to get out of that situation, stuff like that. That is understandable because, we should teach each other to avoid toxic people. And it shouldn't, but the thing is, it shouldn't be gender biased. We should also teach each other, us women should teach each other to also teach, hold on. Let me get ahead. I'm getting ahead of my. We should teach each other also to avoid toxic women, to avoid toxic friendships, avoid toxic friends, or women in general that'll try to lead us into the wrong direction, or that'll try to lead us to, try to lead us out of a good relationship or lead us into a bad relationship. We shouldn't just make it gender bias when it comes to avoiding people that are toxic. We should teach each other to avoid toxic people, period. And it shouldn't matter what gender that person is. But I just want to say that if you're one of those women that complain about your boyfriend, you really need to think about a few things here. For some of you, you're just doing it because you're in your emotions, and you're just in the moment, and you're not thinking things through or ahead. You're in your emotions, and you feel like you've got to go to the phone or the tablet to just get it out. Get your emotions out. Listen, get a diary for that. Open the Bible, pray to God, write it down in a diary, talk to your therapist. Don't grab any device. Sorry, I said advice. I meant to say device. Don't grab any device and take your issues out on the internet. Do not do that, because in doing that, you can make things a whole lot worse for yourself and him in your relationship. Because I've seen some videos posted by women, they was complaining about their man over a very stupid and small petty reason, nothing significant at all. And the women, many of the women that seen those attack her relationship with him, saying she should leave him, he's a monster, da da da. Or they'll go as far as even trying to get him fired from his job, send death threats or whatever. And then that woman that made the video then complains to the women, saying, I cannot believe you say that, da da da, he is a good man, da da. But you're the reason why they did this. If you didn't post that video complaining about him in the first place, this wouldn't have happened. What did you expect? Many people know that there are a lot of people that act like psychos over the internet. And they'll look for any small reason to act like a psycho. They're people that are petty, bitter, that just want a reason to cause drama in someone else's life. So they'll take videos like yours and they'll make that their reason. They'll make that their reasoning to do the things that they already wanted to do, but they just needed an excuse. Because a lot of those women are just women that hate men, and they just want a reason to hate on a man. Even if it's small, even if it's really stupid and petty and very insignificant, they'll still take it anyway because they just want to have any reason to cause a man a problem or to cause women that support men problems. So, if you got an issue with your man, talk to him, because again, there's been times when a woman she even admits, she didn't even say anything to him yet. She didn't even tell him what little issue she's got with him. She just goes straight to the internet, complains about him. And she didn't even address anything to him first. She just talk to him first. At least give him a chance to work it out with you. Don't go to the internet. The internet's not your therapist, and it shouldn't be. And also, by the way, just because a lot of other women agree with you doesn't mean what you said or did is right. Because again, one reason that I say that is, again, because a lot of those women who agree with you just agree with you because they are man haters. It's not that they're really thinking logically about your situation and really looked at it from a logical standpoint and tried to and thought fairly of your situation. What I mean by that is that they didn't think about, okay, who's really being petty here, her or him? They're not even trying to look at it fairly at all. They just automatically take what you say because, again, they just want a reason to hate on a man. So you can't even count what a lot of those women say anyway. Plus, you gotta understand this. A lot of those women who supposedly support you don't truly care about you. And they really don't truly care about your situation. There may be a select few that do, because they feel like they've been in the same boat as you. But a lot of those women don't. You know why? Because they're just there for the drama. You see, they get some sort of weird high off of other people's problems, over other people's misery. They just feed off your drama because they themselves are under misery. Misery loves company. So they don't really support you because they really care about you as a person. They only act like they support you because they're feeding off the drama that you're giving them. And as soon as your story gets boring to them, they'll just move on to the next woman that complains. And then so on and so on and so on. And again, even if you manage to get a lot of people to agree with you, just because they agree with you doesn't mean you're in the right. It doesn't. It wouldn't be any different also if the roles were reversed. If it was a man complaining about his wife for some stupid, petty reason, just because a lot of men that agree with him, that who happen to be men that hate women, agrees with him, doesn't mean he'd be in the right. But the thing is, I have hardly ever seen a video of a man complaining about his girl. At least for petty reasons. The most I have seen was men posting videos about their woman for legitimate reasons. Like if she was being physically abusive to him, and and showing how crazy she's actually acting. Or if she cheated on him and he caught her in the act. But I have yet to find a video of a man posting and complaining about his wife over stupid reasons. Now, I'm not saying it hasn't happened. Just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean it hasn't happened. But I see far more often, though, of women complaining about their men over stupid petty reasons than vice versa. Or to say than vice versa. Another thing I want you to think about is how this could also negatively impact you. Because believe it or not, those videos you make can impact you too. Because there also have been situations when a woman posted negative videos about her man sees it because other people showed it to him, and now their relationship is even worse, or he left her. Because there has been that type of situation. She makes a video complaining about him, then we get an update video of her getting mad at men for showing him what she said about him, and he broke up with her. And instead of taking accountability, she's mad at the men for showing him what she said. No, ma'am. If you didn't post that video complaining about your man like that, those other men would not have had any reason to show him what you were saying about him. If you just would have kept it to yourself, or at the very least, took your problems to him and worked it out with him, you wouldn't have been in this situation. You put yourself in that situation. You did it, not those men. You did that. Just like I said earlier, when you make videos complain about your men, and then you get mad at women for telling you to leave him and stuff like that, but he's a good man. You're the one that put yourself in that situation because you made the video complaining about something stupid. It's not his fault. It's not those women's fault. It's your fault. If you didn't want stuff like that to happen, then you should have just kept your phone out of your hand in the first place. It's that simple. Common sense, ma'am. There's nothing difficult about that. So again, instead of going to your phone or tablet, whatever device you use, pray, read the Bible, get a book, write in your diary, therapist, anything else besides going to the internet. This could also impact your family, especially if you have children. Because say you're an older woman doing this and you got teenagers and their friends see your videos, and now they're coming to your child wondering what is going on between the two of you, and they might also be making fun of them as well, saying, haha, look at your mom acting so stupid. It's just, you have to really think about this, because the stuff you put online could also negatively impact your children as well if you're not careful. It could also impact your parents or his parents or whoever, because again, you got crazy psychos out there that like to make death threats and that like to get people fired from their jobs, and they'll probably go as far as attacking his parents or your parents or whoever else, because again, they just want a reason to cause chaos. They want to feel justified to do the very thing they wanted to do in the first place, even if the reasoning that they pick is very illogical and stupid. They just want to have something they can use to hold on to that they feel could be a legitimate reason to go after someone. And for some of them, the target doesn't matter. They just want to cause drama. That's all they care about. They just want to cause problems. You also need to think of the fact that it could also negatively impact you, because not just the fact that your man can end up leaving you because of the videos you made, but it could also impact your future relationships as well. Because he's not the only man that took notes of what you've done. There's also plenty of other men that took note of it as well. And say you go on a date with this guy, you think he's great, he's a good man, but yet he finds out about your videos. He says, yeah, this isn't going to work. Or he just ghosts you. He ghosts you, or he says, this isn't going to work because I don't want to deal with a woman that's just going to take away my peace. I don't want a woman, she'd said all this stuff about her husband. I mean, who's to say she's not going to do the same thing to me? Who's to say she's not going to sneak her phone around me and try to make me out to be the bad guy over the stupid, pettiest reason? Who's to say she's not going to do that and try to get me fired or whatever else? Who's to say this isn't going to be... She did this to him, she's most likely going to do the same thing to me, and I don't want that in my life. I don't want a woman that's more concerned about getting likes and attention on the internet than focusing on our relationship. So, not only would you have impacted the relationship you're in now, but you also could impact your future relationships as well. Now, don't get me wrong. As a Christian woman, I don't think a man should divorce his wife for making videos about him. To me, it's not a probable cause, but he should definitely lay down some boundaries and abide by those boundaries. And also fully expect you to abide by those boundaries as well. But the thing is, those boundaries should have already been ingrained in your heart and your brain, because it's common sense stuff. It's not like something that you two really had to talk about. I mean, seriously, we live in a day and age where people have to be told that gossiping about each other's partner could cause problems. We shouldn't... I mean, that's a common sense thing, or at least it should be. You should automatically know that posting videos about your man could cause issues between you and him. You should already know that. He shouldn't have to tell you that. That should already be ingrained in you. You shouldn't have to be told that. I mean, if you're a grown woman, you should know this already. But no, he should set... If this happens to a man, he should at the very least set some boundaries. Now, if he was just your boyfriend or fiance, then yeah, I fully agree with him completely breaking up with you for that. Because if that's how you treat him before you married him, who's to say you're going to do anything better after you get married? But for the husband, unfortunately, it's a little different, because he made vows to you. But just because he made vows to you doesn't mean he has to put up with your attitude. It doesn't mean he just has to take it and act like nothing's wrong. No, he should set boundaries. He should let you know he's not going to put up with it. And he has every right to do that. And plus, if the roles were in total reverse, I would also support women setting boundaries for their husbands. Same thing. You should do what you need to do to protect your relationship and help your relationship thrive, not bring it down. Don't involve other people into it. Whatever issue you got with him, take it to him directly and tell him what it is that you're bothered by. Don't give him stupid hints or do the stupid silence game, or... I mean, seriously, don't do the silence game. I mean, yes, sometimes us women just want to be silent, give us a minute to breathe and then say what we need to say. Sometimes I could be like that. That can be understandable, but at least tell him, look, just give me a minute and then we'll talk about it. Don't ignore him the whole time. Or don't play the stupid game of, let's see how many times I'll get him to ask me what's wrong before I actually tell him what's wrong. Because I saw, again, another video of a woman being stupidly petty. He knows she's mad. He's asking her what's wrong. She says, oh, there's nothing wrong. The worst thing you can say is there's nothing wrong. Because then you're lying. And again, how can you expect him to fix the problem if you're not even going to tell him what the problem is? But she says to him twice, There's nothing wrong. And he leaves it at that and moves on. And then she gets mad that he didn't ask her the third time. And she's saying, oh, he didn't love me enough to ask me the third time. I was going to tell him the third time. No, you, ma'am, even if you're telling the truth that she was going to tell him the third time, you shouldn't have tested him in the first place. He was showing you love and care by even asking you. He doesn't have to ask you 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, a million times. He only has to ask you 1 time, because if the man didn't care, he wouldn't ask at all. Ladies, get that through your head. If he didn't care, he wouldn't even bother to ask you. He wouldn't. He wouldn't even care to ask. But because he asked you, he does care. Don't play stupid games. Just tell him what the issue is. Or again, if you need a minute first, you need a minute to calm down, or whatever it is, just tell him that. Just say, hey, I can't say anything yet. I just need I need time to cool down. And yeah, sometimes it can be scary to tell him what the problem is, because maybe you do have a serious issue going on with you, but you're scared to tell him because you're afraid for whatever reason that he may not listen, or that he may ridicule you, because sometimes that could be the truth. Sometimes it could be the situation. Maybe you're embarrassed to tell him what the problem is because you don't know how he's going to react. Sometimes that's the case. And again, that's understandable. I've been through that. But again, you have to think about the fact. You can't expect him to fix the problem if you never tell him what it is. You cannot fault him for not doing anything if you don't even tell him that a problem exists, or even tell him what it is. Men are not mind readers. They can't read your mind. They can read your actions. They can read your lips and hear you, but they can't read what's going on in here. And it's the same vice versa. You can read the man's actions, you can hear his words, but you don't know what's going on in here unless he tells you. We can't read each other's minds. So again, for last time, go to him directly. Or write down your issues in a diary. Do any, but I mean, what you really need to do is go to him if you haven't yet. And if you're still upset for some reason, pray, read a Bible or read a book, listen to music, therapy, write down diary. There's other things you can do besides going on your phone and posting videos on the internet. Posting on the internet just makes things a whole lot worse for you. And plus, the other thing is, it also makes you look like a fool. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean here, but it's true. Many women who complain about their relationships online, especially their divorces, with the crocodile tears, you make yourselves look foolish. You really do. And that's another reason why some men that see those videos would not want to date you. Because they also want women that can show intelligence. Not claim they have intelligence, but show they have intelligence. And women crying on the internet like that, especially over stupid, petty reasons, and crying like little brats, doesn't show intelligence. It shows a woman who has a mentality of a child that cannot control herself. And men don't want that. Not true masculine men. True masculine men doesn't want that in a woman. And it's understandable why they wouldn't. Because women like that would just cause them more problems than anything. She would not be a good asset to him. She would not be a good wife or good girlfriend or fiance for him. All she would do was cause him more chaos than give him peace. So ladies, please stop posting your issues on the internet. We don't need to see it. The only good reason to post about your issues is if you're only doing it for educational purposes, assuming that you're even being truthful. Warn women to look for red flags and stuff like that, yes, but they better be true, legitimate red flags, not, true, legitimate reasons, not petty reasons. I don't want to hear, well, I get the ick because of whatever stupid reason. Or you should stay away from this guy because he's not 6 feet tall, whatever. I'm not going to let you advise me on staying with my husband, not depending on on how tall he is. That's very insignificant. Just because a guy's short doesn't mean he's not a good man for you, or that he can't be a good man for you. That doesn't mean he can't protect you. It doesn't mean he can't help you feel secure. Or just because a man's very tall, that doesn't mean he will secure you, or that he will protect you, or that he will love you. Because I've seen sometimes with some videos, just one small example, I've seen sometimes with some videos, there'd be a tall guy and he's got a short woman. They both get scared and he puts her in front of him. Instead of him protecting her and putting her behind him, he tries to make her protect him by putting her in front of him. Again, sometimes, because I'm not trying to say all tall men do this. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is just because he's tall doesn't mean he's going to protect you. Or just because a guy is short doesn't mean that he can't protect you. Or that he can't make you secure. Now, one more scripture I'm going to read is Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupt talk come out of your mouths, but only such as good for building up, as fits occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear. So, this could also apply to relationships. Instead of talking crap about your husbands and bashing them,